So today is going to be an episode of the Game Media Outlet podcast. We're going to be talking about season 13 of Destiny. Well, right now it's in the middle of the season. I'm going to be a host Maul, and today I'm here with Zeus, Pro Gaming Smurf, and Mish at Sporing. That's for his Twitch, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So
Twitch.
Zeus is just now coming back to Destiny after being away for X amount of years. Mish came back kind of like full time for this season. I'm really enjoying the season, and we're going to discuss the season because it's like midway through the season. And personally, I think this is the best season the franchise has ever had. The story is divided up nice and good. They chopping up week by week as if you're coming back to an episode. I think they did the playlist some justice. Like, they breathed new life into modes like Gambit. They brought in reasons for you to play Nightfalls with adept weapons and adept mods, besides just trials with flooded with cheaters. They brought new weapons to trials, which is really good. What else did they do that I'm missing out on? Do we have any new mods as well? If you can refresh.
I don't think so. I think we're getting mods next season with Ada, like new armor mods.
Okay. So let me start out with Zeus, right? So since you're coming back, right, from your last time leaving Destiny, from the time have you started playing this new season and all the changes been made, how do you feel? What's your experience with Destiny 2 right now? I know you're in the Outriders because that just dropped, but
okay, let me give a little bit background. I'm from Destiny 1, so I have no experience and or knowledge about Destiny 2 coming up from the storyline or any season before 13. So I can only speak on this season, to be honest with you, coming from Destiny 1. Now, me coming from Destiny 1 all the way to season 13 of Destiny 2, it seems like a great improvement. I know some of you guys, because I've read like a lot of comments and story back on Reddit, that some of you guys have issues because of Destiny 2 first dropped, it didn't have this or such and such, or fine. Destiny 2 season 13 to me is honestly, it's a great game, and I'm not a first person shooter. I love MMOs, RPGs. Those are honestly my type of games, but Destiny 2, where it's going, and from what I can tell playing it, it seemed like it's going in a perfect direction. It doesn't feel oversaturated with just all first person shooter stuff like a Call of Duty or something like that. And I think so far it's having a good balance.
Oversaturated in like what sense? What do you mean?
Because like when you play Call of Duty, all there is PvP. That's it. First person shooter.
Well, you got zombies. Zombies is fun.
I mean, zombies is okay, but it still doesn't give that. I still like the RPG aspect of a game, and you don't get that from zombies. When you die, you die. That's the end of it. Like, there's no carryover. There's no, even if you are building up to do that wave or those waves, it's still the end of it when it's the end of it. Honestly, by doing this the way that they're going with the mods, even the developers talking about how they're going to add extra powers and stuff like that, I'm just like, oh wow, okay, whoever is taking over is definitely like, okay, we need longevity in the game, not just what it is right this second.
Okay.
Well, then again, with Destiny, you can't really say that, because if you love PvP, like you guys love the Iron Banner and Trials and everything else, especially Trials, it gives you that longevity. But for a player like me who isn't in the PvE, isn't in the PvP, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I can go get some new powers. I can go do this to get everything. It keeps me coming back.
Honestly, yeah, I was gonna say there's more. I think this game has way more PvE stuff than PvP. PvP kind of, for the most part, in my opinion, takes a back seat to the PvE. Like, they kind of cater that first and foremost, and then they kind of balance PvP after. Like, look how long it took them to nerf stasis. Took them months.
Once again, like I said, I can only speak from season 13.
Right.
So to me, I know you and Mish, like, y'all have more of a, like, y'all can speak better and a lot clearer on that aspect than I can.
Yeah, so how you feeling, Mish, about season 13 so far now that you've been in it for a while?
So I thought it was super interesting to hear from like somebody who's more of a PvE player, because I've never really been too big into PvE, and even this season's pulling me into it. Like, I do Presage. They've made this season the most rewarding season we've had in a long time. And PvP, in the beginning of Stasis, it was immediately, I'm going to Valorant. See you
He's like,
later.
yo, F this game.
Is awful. But now, with the mild nerfing of Stasis, you still get frustrated. If you get into a lower elo lobby, you're going to get frozen a lot because it's free kills. But they've added just like a great mix, and like you said, there's rewards worth getting, like the Igneous Hammer, which we can all agree is a little too strong right now.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been 3 wins.
It shouldn't have been 3 wins, but the rewards this season, they feel good. It feels like Bungie's finally headed in the right direction. I don't know if it's because Luke Smith stepped down, or if this was finally the direction they finally thought they were going to go in. But PvP, for the first time, feels like it's back to being a decently competitive shooter, and we're not just, trying to find the fastest cheese like when we were back in the Lord of Wolves.
Era,
or
broken.
It feels like if they were to nerf shotguns and bring snipers not back to like the Destiny 1 heyday,
right?
Where we were all running around with no lands, and you couldn't win a fight with that one. I think if they balance shotguns and snipers to a decent level, where shotguns get toned down a little bit and snipers get brought up a little bit, I think you might have a legitimate, and I mean, obviously not until you get dedicated servers, but you're gonna have a legitimate, PvP experience on your hands. That's not just, like you say, Chuck E. Cheese, the fastest way to find yourself a free kill.
I know. Okay.
I'm loving it.
So,
Season 13, 100%. I'm loving it.
Yeah, season 13 it's like the way they set it up too, like how you go through all these the right of provings, and then they do it week by week, and then at the final week of the right of proving, they open up the new strike, which we're doing now for the Nightfall, to get the Palindrome Adept. But then they kind of chopped it up in a story-based thing, because I remember typically in the past when they give us like a major expansion, they'll give us everything right off the rip, and then we'll burn through it like in 3 weeks, and it's just like, all right, well, we gotta wait a whole nother several months before we get any significant content drops. Or in last season, they would do what they call the drip feed technique, where it'll be like, to me, it was like kind of stupid the way they did it. Like, where they released a Hawk Moon, and then we gotta wait 2 to 3 weeks before we can get the random roll on the Hawk Moon. It was like, for what? Then why give the gun to wait 3 weeks just to get the random roll to play it? Like, that didn't make sense. It's like they wasn't ready or something like that.
100%. It feels like we have a much faster flow, but it's actual content.
Right, and then new weapons that are relevant, new perks that are relevant. The artifact is really good. Like, I like the perks in the artifact. The new exotics that we got are relevant. They added new stasis powers with the new aspects, with the freaking the Titan with the little freeze freaking melee, which annoys the hell out of me, but it's something new.
Hate it.
And then the Warlock got the torrent, the grenade torrent, and then the Hunter got the what's it called? It's like the ability to receive back melee energy. I forgot you call that aspect.
Yeah. They had it on the Titan,
which I think is dope, because that was never done before with the light powers. Like when the new season came, it's just like you still got the same light powers. Now this new season come with more dark powers that you can unlock.
Yeah.
And they're planning on releasing stasis weapons, which I'm a little bit nervous about, because I don't want no damn gun that's gonna slow or stop or freeze you. That's kind of scary.
I don't know about that one, sir. I'm worried about it.
I'm worried about it too, man, but it's coming.
If it was a bow that could slow people, because bows are pretty bad, an exotic bow that could slow people, wouldn't mind.
Oh man, you are killing me, man. Bow's like my favorite weapon in the
Bows
game.
are actually good in Crucible. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having fun with that Tico. It's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
That's the main weapon I like, man. You just killed it, man.
All right, so I know you played the raid like once or twice, Mish. The Deep Stone Crypt.
Deep Stone, yeah, I played it twice.
And Zeus only played it once. Like, how did y'all feel about this raid? Like this raid for this expansion?
You go first. You take it.
Okay. Once again, coming from Destiny 1, to be completely honest, it seemed a lot easier. Because the first time I played a raid in Destiny 1, and I mean, it could be because you guys was helping me out and y'all was just so fluent with it, and the majority of mistakes that were made while we were playing it was like player error. Yeah, bad instructions. It honestly, it still felt very, very easy. Like, I didn't get that that like, oh my god, we're gonna lose phase. It was more or less like, hey, if you decide to do it the right way, we can get through this easy enough. Just like it felt like more like a carry raid. But once again, y'all are in season 13.
Yeah.
So realistically, I've missed a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
My question to you is was that the newest raid? And can you make sure you tell the viewers what raid we're talking about?
The Deepstone Crypt, and yeah, that's the latest raid that dropped with the expansion in when did it drop? September? No, not September. They delayed November. Sorry.
Okay, so that wow. So I didn't have that knowledge before. This is the first time you telling me this.
Yeah.
So we pretty much played that raid last month, which was March, right? So that's a long time in between raids. And like I said, I'm 110% sure that they are keeping up with their PvP aspect of the game, but that's like what 4 months without a new PvE raid or anything like that.
So raids we get like typically
and we still don't have one. I mean, so my question is, wait, I'm just saying, because my question is like, is it just they're going back in the old direction that they was, just straight, hey, we're PvP, and that's pretty much what it is, and every once in a while we'll throw you PvE guys a bone? No.
Oh, you saying it backwards. So raids.
I'm just like I said, season 13. This is, you said November.
Because that's when the
March. And I wait, but what about the Iron Banner? Is it Iron Banner? Is it more frequent than, what is that, like 5 months?
Still once a month. The Iron Banner.
Oh, it's once a month. Y'all get Iron Banner once a month. You talking about a raid in 5 months? But go ahead, let me know. Maybe I'm messed up.
So raids, even in D1, you're only getting like one raid a year. I think the first year was the only time where the game dropped, and like a little bit later you got the Dark Below, but that was about it. But after that, you only get raids once a year. I think in Forsaken we got 3 raids, right? You got the Last Wish, you got Scourge of the Past, and Crown of Sorrows. That's when Bungie had actually, they were still with Activision. They had 3 studios working on the game, so that was a rare thing. After that, at the Forsaken, Shadowkeep, 1 raid, which is the Garden of Salvation, and now we in Beyond Light, the Deepstone Crypt. You're only getting 1 raid a year. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, I don't think they're giving, unless, you know, they announced that they're going to expand the studio, unless this expansion is good enough and they decide to drop the content, you're only getting 1 raid a year. So that's just, I think that's just kind of like what it is right now.
So do you think that deters some people like me, PvE players?
Hell no, because y'all still get a bunch of stuff that you can do. Like I said, like they like just recently added, remember I just told you. Yeah, no, the Battlegrounds is where.
I'm sorry.
So Battlegrounds, remember when you played before when you had to fight the bunch of cabals, like those big wave of cabals that had to come through, right? So what's good about that mode is you get these things called hammer charges. So say for example, if you want to target a certain gun, you could spin those hammer charges on those umbral engrams to get a specific gun you want, rather than it just being as random as it is. So if you want the rocket launcher, right, the code Duello or Duello, how do you pronounce it? You can focus the engram to make it pop as that, instead of it just being any random what the fuck armor or whatever random weapon. So that gives you a reason to play that mode. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it gives you a reason to play that. You get what I mean? So, and then now, like I said, in the Nightfall, they put adept guns with adept mods. So now you got a reason to play the harder level Nightfalls. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not just random anymore. And then, like I said, with, you know, Gambit, which we were talking about earlier, they put new guns in there. And then you like Gambit, like you said, right?
Yeah, I do. I do like Gambit.
I do enjoy Gambit myself.
It's a good mix. I think the little bots be giving the players enough work where I can come in and, you know, lead my troops into victory. So yeah.
This guy.
I think we can all agree. Gambit needs some more love, but
yeah, it needs maps.
Deepstone Crypt?
I think Gambit to me is the perfect mixture. So like you said, I do believe, like you are right, it does need more love.
But as for the Deepstone Crypt, I loved Garden of Salvation. I loved it.
I like it too.
I thought it had better mechanics than the Deepstone Crypt, but I feel like, and I might be able to shed some light onto this. I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but this game is still built on the same engine they built Reach on.
I believe so too. Yeah.
So when we had 3 studios giving us content, you had the PvE studio and you had the PvP studio. I feel like that's why PvE players are feeling like they're getting shafted, because PvP is just something. Weekly trials is something we can always do, and then monthly Iron Banner. It feels like there is more content for PvP at the moment, and I'd love to see a new raid, because the Deepstone Crypt, it felt too easy. Like I said before, it didn't feel like it had the same feeling like when we did Vault of Glass. And I know, what do they call it? Rose tinted glasses. I'm looking back on something that it was new, and that's why it was hard.
Okay.
Where I feel like it was a lot tougher to do Guard of Salvation, even though a lot of it was just DPS checking that I don't feel like we have with Deepstone Crypt. But I'm thinking back, I don't remember ever struggling.
I can tell you why.
I know, because I was playing with you guys.
No, not that. I'm gonna let you finish though.
But like I know I was playing with the team that knew what they were doing, so it wasn't like a fresh experience. But even I think a good way to look back on it is, if a guide video for a raid is less than 10 minutes, it's probably an easy raid.
I think that depends on the content creator, because some people just stretch it out for YouTube reasons, man.
There's some that
there's some people who
for 45 minutes.
There's some people, there's some people who take, like, they don't know how to explain stuff well, and they just exaggerate. Like, you ever know a person, you could say something in 2 minutes and they stretch it to 5?
Yeah.
There's some people who make videos like that for freaking money purposes on YouTube, because YouTube like long videos and people watch them for that long.
Honestly, with the raid that we did, it didn't, like I said, it didn't feel hard. It just felt that you had 2 new people and they didn't know what they was doing, and that's why it took longer. Because the raid seemed like it should have been over in like maybe 20-minute max. It didn't seem complicated. None of the stages seemed over like difficult or like it needed too much. And especially compared to the Destiny raids, when you had to like grab those orbs and you like jumping on them invisible towers and everything like that.
Yeah, that was the King's Fall.
Yeah.
I agree. That was my favorite raid of all time.
Yeah, you got people who don't know how to do platform jumping, and they like just dying every second they look, and you just like look at this fool here. He doesn't know how to jump. Hey, jump, man! like
you're not gonna say no names, but he knows who he's talking about.
The Oryx raid, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that was a King's Fall raid. Yeah.
You got the ships coming, and you're like, come on, man, what are you doing? Like, okay, just go to orbit. You're not gonna make it. Like, this is a waste of everybody's time here.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this raid that I played here, it was more falling gracefully. Like nothing seemed like we wasn't gonna beat the raid, and nothing seemed like, okay, this is gonna take us 2 and 3 days. It just seemed like a walkthrough. And I mean, come on, like, raids should be seasonal. If you got raids in the game, we should be getting new raids seasonal. It's not that much. I mean, if y'all are getting new trials every month, right? That means if a raid comes out every year, y'all got 12 different trials before we got one new raid. And from what I'm seeing, it's not even guaranteed that we're gonna get a raid every year. It's like, okay, well, that's the time schedule that they set to. But y'all are set to like, okay, we're gonna get trials every month. Like, that's just the way it works. I mean, you tell me every 3 months, that's a season. Every 3 months is a season. You can't be like, hey, PvE, instead of just making y'all do Nightmare or whatever, we're gonna drop y'all a new raid. Even if it is on the same scale of what this one is.
All right, so let me correct a few things, right?
Okay.
Trials is every weekend, every Friday through Monday, right?
Wait, hold on, I get trials every week?
Every week, yes.
Oh,
all trials is just there's not new content in trials every weekend. All it is just basically like a tournament 3v3, and it's on the same maps that already exist. They just rotate whatever trials guns they have.
What pulls you towards to do those trials?
Yeah, the weapons.
What makes you?
The weapons. Yeah.
So that you're getting something new. And let me ask you a question: the majority of those weapons, are they PvP related?
Those are PvP based weapons mostly.
So it's giving you incentive to even want to do trials every week.
Yeah, but they're not exactly new weapons.
Exactly. Like this is they're just cycling weapons that been. Don't get me wrong. This season they added 2 new weapons. They added, I believe, the hand cannon and the sword, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they added that for this season. But for the most part, all they're doing is they're just cycling the freaking weapons and armor. That's it. And it's nothing. It's not new content every week. It's not like we're getting like freaking new, like exclusive.
Not new content, but it's an incentive to want to play it every week.
But that's the same thing with the raid. Like this raid here.
Once you get the weapons in it, right? Why do I need to keep doing it?
Because it's the same thing with trials. What are you talking about?
With trials. That's why we're not playing trials right now. We have the shotgun.
Exactly. It's the same thing with the raid. Like once you get the weapons, you don't technically have to play unless you just want the pinnacle drop until new raid drops. You're not gonna get a new raid every season because that takes a lot of like, I guess, brain thought and whatever. They're just not gonna do it.
There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games that honestly will give you a new raid at least a season. And I don't mean
like every three months.
I mean like every 3 months or so.
What game does that?
Every year. That's 12 months. If
I agree. I want them quicker. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but they're just not gonna do it.
We have to remember COVID's a thing right now, though. That is most likely the reason we haven't gotten another raid.
Nah, they wasn't doing it before COVID.
Don't be nice to people who have to do stuff on computers, because we don't have to be next to each other to go typing that keyboard away. Don't be nice to them.
And I would have to say, Bungie has not been giving raids more than once a year, even when COVID wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Only that one time with Forsaken. That's the one time, which I loved.
Yeah, that was good. We got raids pretty regularly there.
But I want to say one thing too, right? Just to tell you why that raid is easy. So this is what Bungie does with some weapons that I don't like, right? So the reason why the raid was so spanking easy because we have a sword called the Lament, right? That sword literally shits damage, right? They just nerfed this season. They nerfed it 15%, but it's still good. It's so powerful, right? It made the raid Chuck E. Cheese itself. Like it was just too easy. Like that boss that we fought, like when you got everybody with laments, we can probably 2-phase that guy, no problems. Like once we do the damage up top, you guys do the damage at the bottom, he comes back up top again, and he's already about to be in his last phase to kill him. We can all stay up there and he's done. And they gave that raid in like I believe it's a 7-step quest. You just get it automatically just for playing last season. And I'm like, why would they?
Me.
Yeah, you didn't play that.
I still don't have it.
And I'm like, yo, why would they give such a powerful gun? Like it was just like it's candy. Like it was just so easy. I'm like, that sword is so strong. It should be like a raid final boss drop with a low drop rate. Like it was that strong. And they let everybody have it for practically nothing, just playing the game. And I'm like, that's a mistake. And that's what to me kind of devalued that raid because it just made it so easy. Like
it was easily the strongest PvE weapon I can remember existing in the game.
Bro, it did more freaking burst damage than Gal. Like, bro, it literally, the burst damage was extreme. Yeah, like it just
better than Gallahorn.
It was like 1, 2, 3, and then it and the thing about it just keeps ramping up damage. It can hit barrier champs, and it just fucking, bro, the burst damage was insane. Cause like when one hit was like, it's like a chainsaw. So one hit was like almost 3 or 4 hits just off one swing. Then the second swing, the same thing. Then the third swing, and then the final swing is it hits even harder because it gives itself its own damage buff. So now you start adding external damage buffs on top of that, and whatever you're hitting is dead. Now multiply that by 6 guardians.
So
that didn't make any sense.
A PvE player, right? Coming from, because you guys have played this more. What would you tell PvE players? Would this be Destiny 2 from your aspect? Would you be like, yeah, it's something that you can drop, like, because what is it right now with the DLC? Like $80?
I think it's like 70. If you like get everything, if you like new to the game.
Okay, would you tell a PvE player like, hey, yeah, it's worth the $70, or if you're being honest?
If I'm being honest, I would say do the free to play and sample it, because you can play this game for free and see if you like it. Because if you don't, everybody got different tastes for, different strokes for different folks, right? So if you're not into this whole first person thing and you don't like the whole RPG thing, then you're not gonna like it. Then why waste your money on a game that you're probably not gonna play? But at least you get to just come and play like a good chunk of the game without spending any money, and everything saves and carry over. And if you like it, the stuff you access out of, you just pay for it. That's it.
What about you, Mish?
This season feels like it's a season that you don't have to dedicate a lot of time for the payoff. But it also, I mean, for a PvE player, is it worth investing in this game right now?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm happy that they're not doing the you had to be there content, so it's not like this content's going to be gone. So you could wait to get in on the fun when we finally get a new raid and you know, whatever else. Maybe, hopefully, Gambit Prime comes back, but we're not going to talk about that.
I agree.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think you do have to be a hybrid player to get the full benefit of the season. Like, you do need to kind of be willing to play PvP. I know PvP, for some people, it's daunting. They don't want to play it. It's not fun.
Okay.
But this feels like for the first time, it feels like a balanced season where I'm not sitting there going, why isn't PvP getting anything? Because it does feel good. And I think even Mal can attest to that, is a lot of the time throughout Destiny 2's career or existence, we felt like PvP was a second thought.
Yeah, it's an afterthought.
And,
hands down.
Like, when's the last time we got a new map? we haven't gotten a new map pack when we used to in Destiny 1 get new maps every expansion.
Yep.
You know, and that was like three new maps every expansion, and they could easily just sit there and feed us Destiny 1 maps, and we'd be going, new content, thank you Bungo. But they're not, and you know, it does feel weird that there's so much old Destiny 1 content that even I myself am willing to pay for. I'm willing to give you the same money I gave you for this content I've already played. So why aren't we taking the easy route here, Bungo? And trust me, as a fellow, like, I get it when people go, well, you don't understand game development. I worked on games. I know what I'm talking about. You could literally, it's built on the same engine. We know that. Just give it to us. I'll give you the money. I got $10 in my pocket. You want another season pass? I want another 5 maps. That's. I'm going on a bad tangent. I think it's worth. It's aside from that tangent, it's certainly worth getting into this game now. I feel like if you don't, you're gonna miss out on the best gun in the game, which is Dead Man's Tale.
Wait, do I have that? Oh, there you go.
I hope you have it.
I believe you have it. I think you took you on a Precious mission, and that's another dope thing too. Like, yo, y'all get all the love. Like, yo, that mission that they gave, it's so dope because it's not just some random hard mission with some random gun. It actually ties into the story, which I got playing in the background. Like, it ties into the story with the whole Cabal Empress trying to like force you to work under her, and then basically you're going on her mission to figure out, hey, you're getting like this distress signal from a dead guardian that's back on her father, Callus from Vanilla, which is the Dark Days that I don't like. Again.
Yeah.
I'm raising my hand. I am sick and tired of getting distress calls from dead guardians, and they're always dead, and we never get to meet them.
Well, we take their weapons. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, honestly, coming from where I'm coming from season 1, hold on, I'll be right back. Pause it.
Just record it. What he talking about?
Right,
What he talking?
I'll take over.
You get a couple of those for saying that. He said pause it.
Man, I can't wait to see what this next guy does.
Oh, bro, I'm excited.
I think they're finally striking a balance. You go. Come on. He's got me impressed, and he hasn't even started.
So see that's the thing though, right? So he started writing in the TWABs or whatever. So I don't know if okay. We're gonna let you continue. Before you continue, I want to say I don't know if he's influencing this season because he came into power, I guess, sometime in between, and then the next season 14. I don't know if that's enough time for him to like make his influence, but I'm willing to give him the next expansion, the Witch Queen, which I feel he has his biggest influence over the game, and that's back in what I think January, February, or whatever. It's not even coming out this year like it's supposed to. It got delayed.
Oh yeah, it got pushed back.
All right, but I'm sorry. Yeah,
heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah, continue what you were saying.
Like I said, it does seem like a very good game. I'm not gonna hold you. I did spend the money, the $70, whatever, to get old DLCs to be able to play because Maul was hyping it up. And you can see, like I said, it was a clear difference. The story, once again, it still seems a little bit, well, maybe because they was rushing me through the game, wouldn't let me actually look at the damn cutscenes and shit.
I mean, yeah, the story,
But,
you didn't get a chance to experience that because I was basically walking you and Cosmic through,
Yeah,
so you didn't get a chance to experience the story.
us.
But the RPG stuff with the mods, that's what I want to ask you. How do you feel about that? Because that wasn't a thing in Destiny 1.
You know, you're right, and I do like how they brought in the type of weapons like the bow.
Yeah, bow's dope.
Maul and the rest of his crew talked so much crap about the bows. One of the other guys was just like, "Oh, bows are horrible."
I like
love
the bows, but I'm like, yo, don't get too fixated on it because they're better exotics. You're gonna have to let it go at some point. You just like, nah, bow all day.
Yeah, I was just bow. There's always gotta have a bow. Gambit, Gambit is probably the closest to PvP I've ever come to enjoy. Other than like in other games where they have like a horde mode or something like that where you can actually still go against players. I enjoyed Gambit. I was just like, I heard you talking about some Gambit Prime, and I'm just like, ooh, what's that now?
Yeah,
my
Prime
ears
was...
like just perked up when y'all said Gambit Prime. I'm like, ooh, special Gambit.
Yeah, that Gambit Prime was
good. But the biggest problem is going to be like if you do have a real PvE type player, right? There isn't I don't believe that there's even enough for them
in this game right now.
Yeah, and
right,
with the raids and stuff like that, where's the LFG chat in game? Like most MMO type games, when it comes to like raids and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't have that.
Like a lot of MMOs. Yeah. Realistically, MMOs they have LFG chats for people who like to pug, and this is coming from somebody who like I played DC Universe Online, right? And it was an MMO game. I did have a clan and my league or whatever you want to call it, but I still pugged a lot. I still went into LFG chats, but they had them in game. This game is trying to represent itself, like with raids and stuff like that, appearing to be very close to an MMO. LFG chat is very, very important for people who want to pug and try and find game like matches and crews to do that. Why? I mean, like, do you think them not having one could hinder like PvE players?
I'll explain, right? So
want to try and find, because a lot of stuff I can't do without a group.
I'll explain.
Okay.
So in vanilla, they tried to implement something called guided games. That was like the closest thing they had. You remember that, Mish? The guided games that nobody used. So basically, it's like saying, all right, I'll put myself in the Sherpa slot, and then you would go in the non-Sherpa slot. I forgot you call that slot, but anyway.
Wait, hold on. I'm about to try Chuck E. Cheese this example. LFG chat is not something that you queue yourself in. LFG chat is just like any other chat that you can go to outside, like in Discord. That means that there's a little box over there that says LFG, and you can ask people for the type of requirements that you're looking for and everything else. So I think
it does.
Wait, what? I said that that's their version of doing it. The little guided game. I never said it was good.
But there is the Discord not an official LFG by Bungo? I think it is. Oh, I think we lost. All right, it's just me, guys. I'm the last man standing.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Say that again.
Okay, I was gonna take over the whole podcast. It was just me left. Is the LFG not in a official like the Discord LFGs that we have? I'm pretty sure they are considered official.
He wants it to be. I don't know what he's trying to say. Is he wants it to be?
You shouldn't.
Linked in the game and the Discord should be it doesn't do that. I'm sorry. I don't think it's a big deal just to open up the Discord.
Honestly, I don't mind using just the Discord to do it because then I don't want to go to a different game to deal with or to have my own, or I don't want the game to have that much control over its community. Where if you have an official Discord for your game and an official LFG,
right,
you can meet people on there, invite them to your Discord, and I have people that I met on the LFG Discord that are in the OK Discord that have been there for since like the second, third season.
Right.
And we play other games together now.
Yeah, it's fine. You can bring him in. So I guess he just wants it to. I don't see the point of that, but I mean, I guess it could be it could be an in-game convenience, but it's not to me it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't feel inconvenienced going to, because if you're playing Destiny, you're most likely in a Discord talking to somebody going, "I'm bored," but yeah, I don't feel like that's much of an inconvenience.
And I don't think he said when he said there's not enough of PvE. I'm like, when I was guiding him through the game, there's certain stuff that he didn't play. Like you got the Empire hunts, which was completely skipped over. When he was playing the campaign, he didn't really experience that. He kind of skipped over the campaign. He still has to unlock the rest of his stasis power, which is part of the campaign. What else? They got something called not Empire hunts, Wrathborn hunts, which still is around from the last season. So that's another PvE thing you can cater to.
Right?
Yeah, and that's where you can still cater certain weapons and perks. You can for certain guns, and there's certain guns in there too, like that wave form void gun. I forgot what you call
grenade
that.
Launcher.
Yeah, you can get that from the
I like that. Yeah.
Right. So that's shit. That's the hella more PvE content. What else I'm not thinking of? He got the what's the well in the what's that fucking Dreaming City? What's the well? The blind well, right?
Oh, the blind well. I love the blind well.
Right. They recently revitalized that by putting new weapons in there that you can go get.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can get Retold Tale again, which
exactly.
I want, because it was one of the greatest shotguns in the game.
Exactly. So he has that content to go there. You still got that Ascendant challenge, which I don't do, but I don't know why you
Wait, what is the Ascendant challenge?
Where you go find like this Ascendant world, like in the Dreaming City, and you complete the Ascendant challenge. I believe it's for a pinnacle still.
Oh, yeah. And then you, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. You can still play the other dungeons, which you haven't done yet. Like he did the prophecy, but you still got the what do you call it? The Moon Dungeon, and you got the Shattered Throne.
Oh, the Crimson whatever. Is the Shattered Throne still available?
Yes.
And does it give you anything? Because you can still go get Le Monarch from there, because it's not on the wall.
No, Le Monarch.
That is
Le Monarch is on the wall still. It's on the wall. You can get it from the Exotic Archive.
You sure about that?
Mm-hmm. You can cut it out right now. Le Monarch. It's on that wall.
I think I'm about to go buy a bow. That's a quest I never finished.
Well, you should have the materials now.
There's a lot of stuff to do for PvE players, and there's enough PvE content now where, I mean, even in the beginning of what is the expansion we're in now?
Beyond Light.
Beyond Light. Even in the beginning of Beyond Light, hardcore PvP player, where I got into Shadowkeep, I loved it. I played it. I think that expansion was way too short. I loved Shadowkeep. I loved the story of it. I thought it was way too short. It wasn't like Forsaken level, obviously, where Forsaken PvE felt fun to play. But I felt like Beyond Light, the first couple months was a slog to get through. Like between the lack of teleporters on Europa and having to repeat that long, boring mission, I think we can all agree the Beyond Light missions were boring. And the bad guy, what was her name?
Aramis.
She walked around like all goofy like. I hated her. She just wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like
this season's story is more interesting than the Beyond Light main campaign, which is funny.
Yeah, we were given Keitel, and although I don't like her voice actress, I'm gonna be honest.
I think it was perfect.
Every time I hear her, I'm like, who is that? I don't know who you are. Why are you yelling at me?
She does like this little motion, like every time you see in a cutscene, she goes like this, and I'm like,
yeah.
So, I was like, reuse animation, but it's funny.
I enjoy her way more. I think she's I liked Callus a lot.
Exactly, because she links with Callus, so it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of being a Callus fanboy, but I feel like she's just more interesting. I feel like all of it's more interesting than Beyond Light. like 1,000-fold. And are we ever going back to Europa? I don't think so. I think we just go there for the raid.
Oh, do we ever go? I mean, if you do those Empire hunts. Yo, don't sleep on that bow. That bow on your up with the biting wind is a precision frame bow. You can get. Remember I told you before the trick you can do
I
with
have one, yeah.
swashbuckler and withering blade.
Yeah, so other than farming for one bow, did we make a whole planet for a 2-week experience? Is that what happened?
Did we make a? What do you mean by we made a whole planet for 2 weeks?
It feels like Bungo made a whole planet that we experienced for about 2 weeks and called it quits.
Yeah.
Like even I expected this expansion, the whole Keitel thing, to be a fight over Europa, not us duking it out at our front door.
It's because she's trying to force you to join forces with her to team up against the Hive in the darkness. And right now it's like this experience is like we're battling for command over each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to join forces because the darkness is like kind of kicking our ass, or we're in trouble. But you serve under me, and he's like, no, I'm not serving under you. You know what I'm saying? So that's this whole proven battlegrounds is. Plus, remember, you know, Lord Silent don't like what happened with that Red Wall. Like, yo, you came in our town and, you know, screwed our shit up. Now you asking to link up. What the hell's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah, I think Keitel and Zavala are just flirting.
He said just flirting. Zavala about to tear that Cabal ass up, huh?
But, you know what we haven't gotten though, and it's I don't expect, because Forsaken, we can agree, was the Taken King of Destiny 2.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Rise of Iron. I'm waiting for us to get our Rise of Iron, because I think Rise of Iron it added Saladin in, and it gave him a killer backstory.
Well, Rise of Iron, I think it was like, if I wasn't mistaken, Rise of Iron wasn't intended. I think that was the year D2 was supposed to drop, but for whatever reason it got delayed, and then they had to put something out, and I was like scrounged together. But the Witch Queen, it sounded like it's gonna be major. Like the way they're talking about it is this is gonna be like a major pivoting point in the franchise, like, because a lot of new characters are supposed to get introduced, and the story's supposed to be crazy. Our core array is going to be more involved, big time. Because she's involved.
I don't know if any of the leaks. There were leaks a couple months ago that talked about us finally going to North America on Earth, which is weird, because I know there's a lot of flavor text that says North America like either sunk into the sea or was just destroyed.
So how are we going there?
Yeah. So I don't know if any of that's true, but I would like to see more of Earth that's not just the Cosmodrome.
or the EDZ.
Or the EDZ, yeah. It would be nice to see like their take on a destroyed, you know, of course the Division exists, just go play the Division, but it would be nice to see a destroyed New York, right?
That'd be
Chicago.
Dope. Yeah.
It would be cool to have a more of like more urban maps where you're fighting like either skyscraper to skyscraper or like on high rises, something like that. That would be really cool to see, instead of these empty planets that we keep going to. You know, no offense, I miss original Mars, not the new edition of Mars.
I have both.
What was the planet? Was it Venus? What was the planet that we used to go to in Destiny 1 that had a city? That just doesn't exist anymore.
It could be Mars with the Dust Palace.
Yeah, there was the Dust Palace, but there was another planet. There was a whole nother planet. I gotta look.
We had the moon, we had Earth, we had Venus, we had Mars, and then we had the Dreadnought. Then we had the Dreadnought.
The map with the library.
Had to be Venus.
Yeah.
Venus. Well, we're getting that next season. It's coming back. So.
Okay. All right. Oh, and then Mercury, but Mercury is the lighthouse, and that's about it. Oh, we did go to Mercury, didn't we?
Yeah, we had Mercury. We got Sunset.
Osiris.
Yeah, Mercury got Sunset. It was in actually Destiny 2.
I don't mind the sunsetting of the planets if we're gonna get the planets back in a cooler.
Listen, this
empty.
is what they should do, and I think this is what they're going to do, right? Remember how in D1 you had render refreshes, like you had the Crucible vendor where you can buy guns, and that's where you had the Hawk Saw, remember? And then The next Rise of Iron, I think he put the palindrome. That's when that gun got introduced, right? They should do that with the planets, kind of like have vendor refresh certain guns with planets. I'm not a big fan of sunsetting. I think, keep the stuff there and then kind of like make it fresh and make it new. Like give me reasons to go explore and do those planets, you know?
Okay,
so,
back. Sorry.
I don't think they should regularly sunset any of this. I think
sunsetting's dead, so we know where that's gone.
Yeah, but
wait, what does sunset mean? What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Taking it out of the game.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's okay that they sunset these planets if we're gonna get them back, and they're not gonna be copy and paste that we've played for the last 6 years. Like if the darkness has come into Mars and destroyed the landscape, and we're gonna get new landscapes. Kind of
like how these BRs update their games and you get like a different version of the same map.
Yeah, look at Fortnite. I mean,
yeah.
I don't play Fortnite. I get people's hatred of Fortnite because whatever. But kids these days are so lucky because they have like that Fortnite experience where there's Galactus is punching a giant hole in the ground and their whole map's different for a whole season. Now it's flooded out. And then what do? That makes everybody excited. They reset it back to vanilla. Like, how crazy is it that there's like 30 million views on a video that's just saying we're going back to the first map?
Listen, here's my thing. When I first played Destiny 2, and I'm going through the game, I thought I downloaded and paid for Destiny 1.
He's talking about that stupid tutorial mission. I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, oh crap! Did I download the wrong game? I'm like, that is pay $70 for part 1. I'm like, no.
If you told me you were selling me Destiny 1 and it was up to Rise of Iron, I'd pay another $50 just to go back and play that.
I was just completely I was completely caught off. But I mean, they did technically make me pay $70 to play the first 20 minutes of Destiny 1.
That's because his account was pretty much a new account.
Here we go.
That's why.
It don't matter. If I play a part 2 of a game, right? They're not going to say, oh, well, you never played part 1. You're going to have to play the first 20 minutes of part 1 to play part 2.
Wait, look.
I did like that justification, though, because...
It doesn't know if you're an existing account. It looks at you as like you've never played the game before. So it's explaining the game to you as if you're a new player. It's not going to say, okay, we think you played D1. Let's just jump you right in.
And you tell me for $70 they couldn't have made their own tutorial?
Well, that and they had no reason to give you the. You remember how D2 originally started? It was a celebration for what the Destiny 1 Guardians did.
Okay.
And so that made sense. But then when a new player got in, they're like, "What is this celebration? Why is this happening?"
See?
So they decided they're going to revert that back to the original opening where you would get that what we all got, our guardian waking up
to a ghost,
and being picked by our ghost, which made that whole relationship between us and the ghost special. So we got that back.
Optional for somebody like me who played part 1.
No, I mean,
I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. Why am I playing through?
Yeah, I kind of see your point where they should make it where you can skip the tutorial, but I guess not. But like I said, let's say if you had an account before that was just inactive and you come back, they'll like forego it. But then if it just says, okay, we have no record of this account playing in the game, give them the freaking introductory mission. You get what I'm saying? Because it doesn't want to confuse players. Because like say, if I'm just new to imagine if Outriders that's out right now, right? And it has a tutorial, but for some reason it just doesn't give me the tutorial and just jumps me in the game. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Like, explain the game to me.
You can't do that because there's no Outriders 2. There's only Outriders 1. It's the first of the first.
Okay, Division 2 then. Fuck it.
Destiny 2.
Division 2. How about that?
Even if it's Division 2, I don't need to play 20 minutes of Division 1 to be able to play Division 2.
It's a tutorial mission.
So you telling me for my money, right? For the money that I spent, you couldn't be like, okay, well, you see how lazy that is?
This feels a little nitpicky though, because sure it's like that 20 minutes of introduction, but there also is about between 60 and unlimited, depending on what you do in the game, content behind it. You know, there is more than just that introduction mission.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just I get it's annoying.
Hold on. I'm not saying that. Remember, I said the game was a good game. I said I would pick it up and recommend it. Don't get me wrong. I am not knocking the game. I'm just telling the truth the way it is. At any point in time, if I feel cheated as a consumer, I'm gonna say something. And I felt cheated.
Would you feel cheated if you'd never played Destiny 1?
No, not at all.
That's what I'm saying. It's just all it is just your account. Remember, you're playing it on the PC for the first time. It doesn't know what your account is. It just sees you as a fresh account. It's not like the game is screwing you over. You get what I'm saying? Or doing anything if you play back.
Bitch, you know what I mean? Ask me. Hey, have you played Destiny 1? Yes. Then let's fast forward through this bullshit. Oh
my God.
Here's a different take.
Okay.
I deleted my Warlock and restarted my Warlock so I could experience that nostalgia. I wanted to go back and do that first mission to kind of remember. Yeah, 100%. I wanted to remember, how I felt when I did that first Destiny mission, and it was the first time I experienced Destiny as a game.
That's different. I think you could have triggered it from the tower. I think Astacrust, he was talking about that.
Well, don't tell me that. Also, I had the ugliest Warlock possible, so I did want to remake him.
That makes sense.
Me, I'm just I was really in there why does this mission seem so familiar? Did I not do this before? I swear I played this game. They didn't even try to sneak it in. I'm just everything that I'm doing, and then the repetitiveness about having to go to that same area over and over. I'm like, come on.
The quest afterwards to go right back. That's
kind of stupid.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's also what I hated about Beyond Light was I felt like it was just constantly telling me to go back to Europa, and constantly going back to one area. And so you'd go and you'd do the quest, and they'd be like, well, okay, drive all the way north, go back south, and then drive all the way north again. That drove me insane. That's what made Beyond Light so hard to get through.
I mean, I got through the campaign really quickly. It wasn't that bad. The only thing that was just tedious to me is the steps you had to go through to unlock the power. It's just God. I did the first time, which is fine, but then you doing it 2 more times after, it's just fuck. Yeah. That's annoying.
To unlock the aspects.
Yeah, that's annoying as fuck. But once you got past that, it was smooth sailing after that point.
I hated doing the aspects. There wasn't a single thing that I thought, hey, I'm enjoying myself here. Unless they were like, hey, you have to go get this many kills in PvP. Then I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. It was... One of them is ridiculously long. I remember doing it. It might have been for the Titan. Maybe it was for a grenade or the Titan slide, and I was losing it doing it.
Yeah, I gotta go back in there and unlock the freaking snap grenade and that freaking you can freeze melee, whatever you call that aspect.
You know why they do it though, right? They're trying to make it seem like it extends the game. You don't rush through it. I don't know why, because nobody wants to fucking sit there and do that shit over and over, bro. You know that's what they're gonna say.
I feel like this game almost needs a setting that you can either toggle on or off, where it's experience this once or experience it all 3 times. Yes. And I can say, I just want to experience this once, so if I complete the story mode on my Titan, please just complete it for my Hunter and Warlock.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I don't need to... I 1000% agree with that, because once I do that, I'm I don't want to play the same story again, and I gotta play it again. I think that's the only flaw.
And but that does need to be an option, because there certainly are people that redoing the story over and over again, and no shade at them. If you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. You're a psychopath, but you're enjoying it, and go ahead. But I don't want to. I've never liked doing campaign 3 times.
Yeah, because I don't feel like it's extended. I just feel like it's kind of making me. It's oversaturated. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm done. I gotta take a break now because I didn't. Yeah, Destiny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it never mattered how good the story was. It didn't matter if it was Forsaken or the Taken King. I never liked doing it more than once.
Yeah.
You know,
Once you got it, you got it.
and it's not even that there's not other games. Like I purposely made second and third account in Genshin Impact because I just liked experiencing the adventuring portion. So it might be a bit of a flaw on Bungie's part, but
Well, Genshin Impact, those type of games, you gotta remember, are kind of different because you can do like certain stuff and you get like different results or different loot. Like you pretty much in Destiny, you pretty much know what you're gonna get. Like, okay, a whole bunch of crap until I get there.
There's not enough mystery in what I'm getting. That I think that's the issue. And
I'm not knocking them for it, but I don't think that they understand where they are. Like, okay, if you're not gonna give the players this, then realistically, let's be serious. Let's give them the option if they want to do the same crap over and over.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially since they even they took away having multiple of one class. There's now no benefit for me to do something, where I could have 2 hunters and get 2 hunters through the story, and then I could double loot for hunters. I get why they got rid of it, but
yeah,
they're taking
they
away...
killed that because you're cycling through, I guess, pinnacle content too fast. I don't know. Was it the reason? It was something about like you're leveling up too quick by tripling up on the character.
Yeah.
But that was the thing in the past.
I kind of understand why they'd get rid of that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you got to remember, even now, your fan base that has been sticking with your game. I think we can all agree. There are the dads of Destiny. Destiny kind of draws an older crowd, and they're just getting older. And what happens when you get older? You have less time in the game. So kind of you gotta at some point give your players a way to speed these things up a little bit. Yeah. Especially your players that love your game but just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah. It's
all
just too repetitive.
Going back to this season, right? Mm-hmm. Going back to the season. In terms of storytelling, in terms of the way they drop the loot, in terms of this new horde mode-ish, because they've released plenty of horde modes before.
The battlegrounds?
In terms of the umbral engrams, I feel like this is the best or how a season should be done, and they should basically keep this up.
It is a golden outline.
Right. It is like a standard that they have set pretty decent for themselves that I feel like they have to therefore match each season or exceed. We're getting a second, and I said normally we get 1 raid a year, right? We are getting a second raid, which is next season, but I'm reluctant to count this as a second raid because it's a old raid. So it's not really new content. They're probably going to tweak certain things, but it's not new content per se. They're probably going to add champions and other stuff. I doubt it's going to be something like, holy shit, mind-blowing.
I did say before, though, I will keep paying you for old content. I'm very excited for the Vault of Glass.
I don't mind paying it for season pass prices, but you better not charge me no major expansion prices for me a bunch of old content. Yeah. Season pass content for some old content, which is, in a way, still sketchy because I already experienced this, but fine. That's no big deal. I pay for the season pass. You're getting back the old raid. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm liking the way this the season weapon is dope. Going back to another thing, Zeus, you back? Or are you still good? Yeah, another thing that I forgot to mention to you that the whole season pass wasn't a thing in the past with Destiny where you get the whole free loot as you play the game. So that's kind of dope, and they give you guaranteed ornaments. They give you a guaranteed new season exotic, which is definitely a new thing that they've been doing since they introduced the season pass. They didn't have to do that.
Once again, I'm not knocking the game.
No. I'm just mentioning that. Yeah. Like this season's weapon is actually really good. That bow, that Tiku's divination, it's a pretty dope freaking season pass gun. So.
And the seasonal challenges have made it.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Of a slog to get through. I thoroughly think because when I saw it, I was like 100 tiers. Like, why isn't this 50 like every other game? And then I realized the seasonal challenges where you're skipping tier, just every every once in a while, all of a sudden you skip 2 tiers, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we can have 100 here because these seasonal challenges you just blast through the season pass.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
They certainly fixed a lot of the issues I had with the season pass.
Okay.
It was really good. So, all right, so we're coming up on what's about an hour now to the podcast. All right, so I see you over here chowing down, so I'll skip straight to you, Mish. I mean, I believe you said it earlier, but again, newcomer comes. I think your boy Joey's playing it now. He's sampling the game for free now. Let's just say some unknown player who's somewhat semi-interested in Destiny as of now. What would you tell them to do when they like kind of looking Destiny's way? Maybe they're looking at Outriders, maybe they're looking at Destiny. I don't know. Since you play Destiny, what would you tell them to do right now? Well, it's not your turn. Relax. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Miss. You was chowing down.
Shit.
You finished eating.
Doing some Chuck E. Cheese shit. But go ahead.
I think if you're looking for a solid PvE experience, because I got to see how long Outriders PvE experience lasts. But if you're looking to play PvP and you want to be able to chill out and play some pretty chill, I think we all agree it's pretty chill PvE right now. I think absolutely pick up Destiny. The Crucible's fun. We see way less cheaters these days, which is a great thing. And the PvE is just chill. You can just chill, hang out. You guys probably noticed this, but I've been doing PvE this whole time, carrying Joe through things.
Yep.
And it's literally that chill. You can just sit there and do it. The PvP has been fantastic. So yeah, get into Destiny now, because I think we're just going up from here. Maybe
right.
Try out Outriders when it's on sale.
Okay. Now, same thing with you, Zeus. Since you're like technically coming, you're new after all these years. You're not new to the franchise, but you're new to Destiny too. For all these years you've been absent, right? As far as I believe you answered this earlier as well, but I guess I'll ask you again and reiterate. A new player comes in, but you're still technically new yourself. How would you display? Like, how would you tell another player who's like on the outside, who's looking to like experience Destiny, or maybe they're looking in Outriders direction? Remember, they got $60, let's just say $70 because the expansion all is set to burn. Yeah. What would you tell them and why?
Okay, I got you. If you can only get one game, right, and you're an all-around player, I would definitely recommend Destiny. Destiny 2, hands down. Like that's your last bottom dollar. You like PvP, you like PvE, you like playing with people and everything like that, and you love first-person shooters. 110% get Destiny 2. It's gonna give you the best overall game experience that you can play. It's a beautiful graphically game.
On the PC.
The gameplay
on the PC, yeah. That is.
PC, yeah.
You Asian console people, the game looks horrible.
We are PC master race right now. Just everybody understand that part.
Oh man, here comes the hate.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, and once again, I know it's gonna be some horrible Destiny 2 players from launch. They're probably gonna talk a whole bunch of trash. Fine. Season 13, yes, it's great. Great RPG. It's going in the right direction. You're gonna want to play it. Gambit. But just understand that when it comes to doing raids and stuff like that, you're gonna have to look for people. If you don't have people that's already playing it, if you don't have no friends, I honestly think it gives you a different type of gameplay than if you are playing with people that you know as well. Please take that into account. I do think there's a difference between you having people and friends to play with, and then you coming into the game by yourself and just trying to play the game.
You certainly need to know that the LFGs exist. That's they should just have a tab to link you to the Discord, because without it, you're gonna have no fun.
Yeah, it's a different game. If you're looking to play a game by yourself, I personally probably wouldn't look to Destiny unless you're a PvPer. A PvPer, no matter what, you can jump into a game and play that game by yourself. If you're anything else, then might want to look elsewhere unless you got friends. But it's a great game. I have to give it to them hands down. They went into the right direction.
Okay, Mish, I see you raising your hand earlier. You had something to add to what he was saying. What'd you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. I straight up forgot. I forgot what we were talking about.
All right. Okay. Well,
yeah, I forgot.
I guess I'll throw in my 2 cents. I mean, I play Destiny right now. I pretty much only cycle through 2 games mainly right now. Destiny 2 and Street Fighter 5, which I mostly play. And you know, anybody's from, you know, hardcore Halo players, it's kind of, you know, it got basically off the Halo Reach engine. So if you love Halo gameplay in Destiny, like the core gameplay, it's not a 10. Like the gameplay itself is just solid FPS. You get what I'm saying? So if you enjoy that, you're definitely going to enjoy this game. I do agree with Zeus. Like the experience is kind of different with friends. Of course, any game you play is always better with your friends. Like no matter what, hands down. But this particular game, like
God of War.
This particular game is like the harder content mission. You could LFG, but then it's always better to have those boys because it gets a little rough, especially when you start to veer off into the Grandmaster territory or the hard mode of like missions like Presage or the Whisper of the Worm that don't exist no more. But you know, whatever. Those type of missions is definitely, I feel like it's a better experience when you got somebody who's your friend and who knows what they're doing rather than getting some, you know, you might go off LFG and you might get some Chuck E. Cheese random and then it's just like, all right, he just as lost as you. He's just looking to get the mission done and y'all both lost. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I'm helping. I get you to help me. He's like, well, I got you to help me. And then now the experience is like, okay, all right, well, I screwed this game. I'm out of here because I can't complete this hard mission. You know? So yeah, it definitely does make a great experience with your friends. PvP, you know, you can kind of pick up and play that. Certain guns is a requirement. So if you're watching this video, hopefully Fell Winters is still available. If not, go on the goddamn tower right now and buy it before Bungie takes it away. Get Fell Winters Live. That is a must for PvP. It is available now. Now, if you're watching this video somewhere far down in the future and it doesn't apply anymore, ignore that last part. But if you are and it's available, get it now. Do not wait. Fell Winters Live shotgun.
One thing I do have to say is the game has a, you know, obviously, you know, if you look at the LG, you'll see must have, and then it like a giant list of things you must have done, like complete the raid in 5 minutes or less. But it is also, you know, I think we can all agree, also one of the most welcoming communities you can get into.
Word, I'm a general, so just anybody out there, as long as you play under me, then. If you play under me, we should win. Unless you're not good. But I can't help you with that.
Oh my goodness. I'm not even gonna say about that.
Don't worry about my kill streak. Don't worry about how many people are killed. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give orders and for us to win. Anything else is irrelevant. Just worry about you getting them kills.
The IGL role.
Oh man, all right, we gonna let that one just rock. So, well, we're gonna get up out of here. I think this is a great podcast on season 13. You can look down below at my I gotta add an Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Mostly follow the YouTube and the Twitch. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Twitch too, because I'm mostly inactive on Twitter. So I'm all.
And just to let you know, it's Pro Gaming Smurf at Twitch as well, not just at YouTube. Just let y'all know. I got that Twitch up and running. And if you want to check me out on Twitter, it's Pro Gaming Smurf 1. Somebody else try to be a funny boy and, you know, take the regular Pro Gaming Smurf. He's a weirdo, or she's a weirdo, whoever's out there.
That's fire.
I'm sporing on Twitch. For Instagram, it's Milk Tea Game Arts. That's my business one. It's probably not updated right now. But if you're looking for anybody to help you either learn how to make games or make games themselves, hit me up on there. And then for Twitter, it's Trials of Mishka. You will just see me complaining to other gaming studios. if you're into that, give me a follow.
Oh man. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.